Hi everyone, welcome to Easy Math. 7th standard, we are doing the properties of integers now. We have seen there are 5 properties totally: closure, commutative, associative, identity element and inverse. In the previous video, we have seen the first 3 properties: closure, commutative, associative. We have seen. If you want that the link I have given in the description box. If you want to refer, you can refer in the description box. I have given the link. Now in this video, we'll see the identity element and inverse. That is the 4th and 5th properties we will see now. Okay, so now it is the 4th property, identity element. What is an identity element? We'll see this for all the 4 operations. For addition, suppose A is a number. With A you're adding 0, or with 0 you're adding a number A. However you add, the answer, the sum is A itself. For example, you see the example, we are adding -5 plus 0, or 0 with -5. However you add, your answer is -5. That is, we are getting the number itself. The number itself is the answer. That is the meaning of identity. Identity means the original value of the number is not changed. The number remains the same even after adding. So adding with what number gives the same number? That is 0. So we say the identity element of addition is 0. Okay. Now for subtraction, there is no identity element for subtraction. For example, from 4, if you subtract 0, you get 4 itself. But it should be true the other way around also, even if you change the order. From 0 minus 4, if you subtract, now what do? We write the sign of the greatest number, rule of subtraction. So 4 is greater, we put minus, and 0 minus 4, 4 minus 0 is 4. Now here we are subtracting 4, but the answer is -4. That is the identity, the original value we are not getting as the answer. Original value is changed. So there is no identity element for subtraction. And we'll see multiplication. When you multiply a number, A is some number, some integer, into 1, or 1 multiplied with A. However you multiply, your answer, your product is A itself. For example, -7 into 1, or 1 into -7. See, multiply plus into minus. Multiply two different signs, minus, and 7 ones are 7. So however you multiply, the given number is -7 and answer is also -7. When you multiply 1 into -7, the given number is -7. Even after multiplying, we are getting the same -7. So this one is called identity element of multiplication. So just like subtraction, division also has no identity element. For example, if you are dividing -6 divided by 1, we get -6 itself is the answer. Because when you divide two different signs, it is negative. 6 divided by 1 is 6. But 1 divided by -6 is -1 by 6. This will not, the divided number is 6 and the answer is -1 by 6. This is not the same number we are getting as the question. So there is no identity element for division. So this is about identity. Addition of identity element of addition is 0. Identity element of multiplication is 1. These all you get in objective type questions and fill in the blanks and all. Dash is the identity element of addition, 0. And the identity element of multiplication is dash, 1. Okay, but and subtraction, division has no identity elements. Now the last property, we are coming to the last property, which is inverse. What do you mean by inverse? In addition, the negative of the number gives the inverse of the number. That is, plus A is given. With A, what number you should add so that this 0 is the identity element of addition. This 0 is your answer. So with plus A, you add the negative of the number. Negative of the number means you have to change the sign. If it is plus, you have to put minus. With minus, if you have to add plus. So you should get 0, the identity element, as your answer. So such a number, we change the sign, that number is called negative, and that is called the inverse property. For example, you take +6. What is the negative of this? Just change the sign. If it is +6, it is -6. If it is -6, the negative is +6. And when you add plus and minus, signs are different. You have to subtract. 6 minus 6 is 0. Here again, signs are different. When the signs are different, the rule is subtraction. So 6 minus 6 is 0. And 0 is neither positive nor negative. So it has no sign. So we're getting 0 as the answer. So negative of a number is obtained by just changing the number. For example, what is the negative of -8? Is +8. Negative of plus 10 is minus 10. You have to change the signs to get the negatives. Now subtraction, as there is no inverse and there is no identity element, even subtraction has no inverse. And for multiplication, when you multiply a number by its reciprocal, what do you mean by reciprocal? Just changing the numerator and the denominator gives the value 1. Whether you multiply a number into its reciprocal, 1 by a reciprocal is a. So however you multiply, the answer is 1, which is the identity element of multiplication. Now for example, 6, the reciprocal means, it is 6 means 6 by 1. Reciprocal means just inverting the numerator and denominator. So it becomes 1 by 6. Or 1 by 6, the reciprocal is 6 by 1. However you multiply, you cancel 6 and 6 and the answer becomes 1, which is the identity element of multiplication. So the inverse of multiplication is obtained by writing the reciprocal. For example, the reciprocal of inverse of 5 means 1 by 5. Inverse of 1 by 7 is 7 by 1. Writing the number upside down. 7 by 1 means when you divide a number by 1, we get the same number 7 itself. So this is about inverse of a number, inverse of multiplication. Just like subtraction, division has no inverse. So we have inverse only for addition and multiplication and no inverse for subtraction and division. So now we have learnt about all the 5 properties. Now to recall all the properties together, I have just I've made a tabular column and I've written all the properties. I've consolidated all the properties. See, properties of integers. We have the heading as properties of integers, and this is for properties: closure, commutative, associative, identity, and inverse. This I've consolidated the properties which you have learnt in 2 videos. Okay. Now addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Closure property: a plus b is an integer. And then commutative, if you go like this, closure for all the 4 operations, a minus b is also an integer, a into b is also an integer, but a divided by c is not an integer. It is not, closure is not true for division. And commutative, it is true for addition and true for multiplication, but not true for subtraction and division. That's why I put not equal to. Subtraction and division not equal to. Same way associative, it is true for addition and multiplication. See, it is not equal to. That means not true for subtraction and multiplication. Identity element of addition is 0, multiplication is 1, and no identity element for subtraction and division. Now inverse, in addition, how do we get the inverse of a number? By changing the sign. For plus 6, minus 6. For minus 7, plus 7. That is the meaning of negative, which is called the inverse. And no inverse for subtraction, no inverse for division. And in multiplication, it is by reciprocal, means writing the number upside down. 7 means 1 by 7. 6 is, the reciprocal is 1 by 6. So I have consolidated all the properties together so that it will be very helpful to recall all the properties and remember. Okay children, thank you for watching. We'll see in the next video. Thank you.